My first time, it was almost 40 years ago, but I still remember it just like it was yesterday. I was a freshman at Alma College. I was with a beautiful girl that I was totally enamored with. I was living away from home for the first time, so we could do what we wanted, stay out as long as we wanted, and it just was a magical night. It was great. She was more experienced at this kind of thing than I was, but she was a big sturdy girl and I was a dirtball from the North Country. But she had a good time. A little critical of my performance, I guess you could say. She described me, I think, as a screaming Mimi and kind of said I was almost like a teeny bopper. But, you know, she must have enjoyed it because as soon as I could manage it, we did it again and again, and not to brag, but 4 times actually, eventually. It makes me feel sorry for kids today because I don't think most of them would be able to do that. But it was great, and I still remember it vividly. Oh, wait, no, we're supposed to be talking about the first time we voted, not the first time we saw Bob Seger in concert. Yeah, that didn't work out quite so well. It was a couple weeks after the Seger concert, actually, and I voted for Gerald Ford. Not for any big political reasons that I can recall, but I was from Michigan. You know, I was living in Michigan, and he was from Michigan, and that was probably the biggest thing. It was the first in a long string of presidential losses in my voting career. In fact, 4 years later, I reconsidered and voted for Carter, but of course he lost, and I lost in the election after that, and it would be 1992 before I went to work for Bill Clinton and voted for him, and he won. So it was a 16-year span there between my first voting for a president and one when I actually picked a winner. More interesting thing about that election, my first vote that I recall, it was 1976, and on the ballot was an issue to raise the legal drinking age from 18 to 21. I was 18 and able to legally drink, but I voted to raise that age because I didn't drink, still don't, although I did some in the middle, but not when I was 18, and I had seen what most of my friends were affected by. None of them were heavy drinkers, but they were already ahead of the curve as far as becoming binge drinkers, and I didn't like what it did to them. Took a lot of intelligent, talented people and just made them stupid. So I voted to raise the drinking age to 21 when I was 18. So I had the opportunity to turn legal twice in that regard. But that was my first vote. I'd like to hear about yours, and I would also like to tag some people here. Mikola, one of the few nerd fighters older than me that I know. Mikola, I'd like to hear about your first time. Somebody who does not make a lot of videos, but maybe he can find somebody to help him put one together. I'd like to hear about Mike Green's first experience, and also Michael Morgan. I'd like to hear from some of us about our first times voting. So I hope everyone out there watching this plans to vote in this upcoming election because it's an important one. So don't forget to be awesome. I will talk to you again soon, hopefully.